3.
Hi, Rampart community. Thank you for joining us tonight for this Senior Parent Town Hall meeting. I am Michelle Tucker, and I serve as a member of the team of assistant principals here at Rampart High School. I also oversee the senior events and for the class of 2022. Before we jump into some content tonight, I did want to make sure that I acknowledge and thank the principal and the leader of this building, Pete Alvarez, for his dedication and for all the work that he does for our Rampart community. So, without further ado, we will go ahead and get started. We have lots of information for you tonight, full of information that will be provided for seniors. We also have an opportunity for you to ask questions in that chat feature, and we've got a team of people who are watching those that will be able to answer some questions for you should you have any questions throughout the evening. This virtual session will also be recorded so that we can post that to you and send it to you as the days move forward. All right, let's go ahead and get started with tonight's senior event. So we know that all of us, we have a common link together, and that is to make sure that our students get to graduation. And because of that, we want to have some encouraging words for you and for you to share with your students. And that is what an amazing opportunity it is for them to support themselves by attending all of their classes. We want to encourage them to make sure they're completing all of their homework and preparing for final exams, just encouraging them to always do their best in all of the work that they are going to do. We want to enjoy all the senior events and certainly celebrate this time and this wonderful time of the senior year. So we've got plenty of upcoming events. The first one is an inaugural event that we're super proud of. It's a senior capping dedication. I know you'll have lots of questions about that, and we'll get to that in just a few slides, but we're offering tons of information, so you don't have to write everything down. We will share the dates, the times, the PowerPoint, in this link so that all the information that you need will be right in front of you. When this meeting ends in the next day or so, we will publicize this so you'll have access to all the links, because we're going to share some links with you. And then with the links, you'll also be able to complete the tasks at a time that's convenient for you. So you won't have to do everything in one sitting. Every event, so that you know, is designed with our seniors in mind, and we're excited about that for them. Just remind your students that this is their time to celebrate and to be a part of all the senior events. We're excited to offer them because we know in the last 2 senior classes, in class of 20, class of 2021, lots of things were canceled. And so we're happy to bring back this list of events where there are several opportunities for seniors to participate. Some of the activities are for seniors only. Some of them, such as like the yearbook distribution, will be for the entire student body. And we encourage everyone to wrap up their high school experience by participating in these events. So the first event that's coming to you is our capping dedication. This is a new opportunity at Rampart for the class of 2022. And so our students will have a unique opportunity to recognize someone who has been a great influence over their lives during their high school career, and also an opportunity to honor people who have supported them. This is an event that we hope that you will enjoy. We think that it's an awesome opportunity for the entire community to come together and hear what is important to our Rampart graduates. So what will that look like? On Friday, April 1st, we're going to come into our gym. Of course, it's going to be designed so that you enjoy the atmosphere that we have. Students will have an opportunity to give a brief statement. So we'll have some dedicated staff here who will read that dedication statement of their honoree, and then the person that they have chosen will cap them off. And it is symbolic of capping off 4 years experience of their time in high school. This will be a dessert opportunity. So we'll be celebrating. We'll have some great desserts from a local vendor, and just celebrate the work that our students are doing and articulate the ideals and purposes of our students and their positive memories of high school. So with that, part of that is we're going to have students create a vision or memory board. So they may have think about all of the great things that have happened in their history of Rampart and put together pictures and photos. And perhaps mom and dad, you have some photos of them since they've been in kindergarten, and you want to put those all of the years together so that we get to celebrate this wonderful experience for you. They may decide that they want to do a vision board that is where they're going to go to college, or what career they're going to be participating in, or if they're going into the military. It could be a number of things, but it's going to be ensure that we foster community here and provide a positive historic memory of their time. So those boards will be due on March 28th. If students haven't picked them up already, they can be picked up with Ms. Cooper in counseling, and then have those returned on that Monday right after spring break, so that we have an opportunity to put their names on them. We'll have some printed names for them, and also to put an easel on the back of it so it can be displayed for the event on April 1st. So that's a new opportunity for our Rampart students that we're super excited about. During that dedication ceremony, we will also have our band here, just showing some great things that are going on also in our community. The Senior Breakfast and Torch Assembly will happen on April 29th. This is an annual tradition that we have here at Rampart, where on April 29th, our seniors will begin with breakfast. So they'll go to their Gold 1 class, they'll be released so that they can have breakfast together. That will be for seniors only. And then we'll move on to the Torch Assembly, where it's a great opportunity for our underclassmen to see the great work that the seniors have done, and then our seniors will pass the torch to the class of 2023 so they can begin their journey of the leaders in the Rampart community. After that, students will then return to class. Junior and senior prom is coming, and that's always an exciting time. That will be on the next day, which is April 30th, and that will be at UC Health Field. So our student council, they are actively preparing for our junior and senior prom. Tickets will be sold with student council. We don't have that link yet, but we will provide that as soon as our student council provides that to us, and we will update this PowerPoint so that you have access to that link. Tickets at the door will be $35. And so we want to encourage everyone to purchase early and make sure that they do that online to get their information. This is a formal event, so all of the attire will be formal, and then tickets and IDs are going to be required for entry. You'll have access to this this PowerPoint, but just if you're making notes that the tickets will begin being sold on April 11th, and that will go through the 25th. If your student or your senior is planning to bring a guest that goes to another school, just remind them that they'll have to get a guest pass signed so that they can bring guests from other schools. I'm going to pause here just for a moment to see if there are any questions that have been asked in our chat. If not, we'll move forward. So I'll pause here just to see if there are any questions.
Hi, this is Andrea McFarlane. I just wanted to say to the group, there are some people that are saying they are not seeing or hearing the meeting, but I have many people that are saying they are. If you're not hearing it, my advice is probably not going to help too much, but if you see a mute button, you don't need to push that. Mute on a live meeting is going to mute us, not you. You don't need to hit mute for yourself, okay? I'll say that for now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, after prom will happen again this year. Our Rampart parent organization does an amazing job of supporting Rampart students by offering after prom. That will happen at the summit. RPO will also provide ticket sale link closer to that sale date, but they will offer pre-sale tickets. And those will be sold the same time that prom tickets, so students can purchase their prom for ticket and purchase their after prom ticket if they choose to do so during the same time window. If you'd like to make a donation for this, because it is a big event that keeps our students safe, you can go to payforit.net if you'd like to help with that fundraiser. You would select Rampart High School, and then those donations can be made in multiples of 10. Again, our Rampart parent organization is really supportive of our students. And so if you see that you would like to support that event, please go to payforit.net. And then if you want to attend a meeting, there's going to be one tomorrow. So you're in luck. You're just in time for tomorrow's meeting at 6 p.m. It'll be at pizza time. And if you are interested in volunteering for this event or have questions about After Prom, you can contact RPO, or you could also attend the meeting tomorrow, which is the 10th at 6 p.m. at pizza time. As for graduation announcements and cap and gown, if you haven't ordered those yet, you can still contact Jostens and order online at jostens.com. If you haven't picked up your cap and gown and you need to do so, you can see Ms. Cooper in the office, in the counseling office. You could also call Jostens if you need to order that. But please stop by and see Ms. Cooper also in our office if you have questions about that. Okay, so Ms. Lucero, our career and our college and career counselor, and then Ms. Cooper also in that office. They do an amazing job of supporting students. So if you have questions about any of that, don't hesitate to reach out to them or to stop by the office to get your questions answered. All right, senior awards. What an amazing opportunity. This is an invitation only ceremony, so your student will need to make sure that they fill out the form that you see on this link that we'll have for you. Make sure they fill it out, because they will get an invitation and being recognized at this event for the things that they put into this particular survey online. Seniors will go to this survey, and on this particular slide, they will fill out the document, and this will allow us to know who we need to invite, who we need to honor, and who we are going to recognize on this particular evening of May 4th. The deadline to submit that survey will be April 8th, and that'll give them ample time to send out the invitations so that people know who's going to attend the Senior Awards ceremony. This is one of my favorite nights, you know, being able to celebrate the work of our students. Senior checkout. Every single senior, all seniors need to complete an in-person checkout prior to graduation. So there are lots of steps to this. I really would encourage you that as soon as you get this PowerPoint, maybe just to print it, put the dates on your calendar, because there are steps that every senior, regardless of whether they are in the program that they're in, that they will need to complete. One of the things is the graduation survey and Naviance, and it's going to give you the pathway on this slide, how to get to navigate Naviance. You're going to go to the tabs and make sure that you are completing all the post-secondary goals that you need in Naviance. You want to make sure you pay all your outstanding fees with bookkeeping, and some of you might say, well, I don't know if I have outstanding fees. If you're not sure, you can certainly stop by the bookkeeping office and ask them if there are any outstanding fees for you. And then, of course, return all of the books and the laptops to the library staff. Those dates and times will come out in the Rampart this week for when those books will be due. Naturally, seniors, if you have exams that you still need your textbooks, you can keep those, but you just want to make sure you bring them on the day of your exams and turn them in immediately after your exam so that this task is taken care of. Because if you have outstanding fees or your books haven't turned in, all of those financial obligations that are required of you have to be cleared before you can participate in graduation. So yearbooks, they are not distributed unless all fees are paid. Certainly, if you have questions about that, you're going to be able to contact our bookkeeping office. Our bookkeeper is Vicki Bailey, and we will have her number and her email address here for you in case you have questions about that. Again, if you have textbooks that you need for your exams, you should certainly keep them. Just make arrangements with the library staff to let them know that you're going to be keeping those textbooks a little bit longer so that you can prepare for exams. Ms. McFarlane, are you getting messages at this point that everyone is able to hear?
Yes, and also there were a couple of questions about the prom that we missed because, you know, we were talking about not being able to hear. So Perfect. Are you interested in talking about that?
Sure, okay. Go ahead.
So you have a few questions, and it's, is the dance on the actual field? Is UC Health Field prom outside previous Sky Sox field? And can you elaborate on prom formal event? So anything you know about those things would be
okay. So the
great.
UC Health Field, yes, is the former Sky Sox Stadium, and it's actually going to be a combination of both. So we will have access to the indoor component of UC Health and also the outdoor. So we will have access to the field, to the rooms that are there, and so there will be cover, but there will also be an opportunity for students to be on the field if they wanted to spread out and dance on the field. What was the next question?
I think that covers a lot of it. Someone just asked to elaborate, and then we just had a question come in that was, should we have bad weather? What's the plan for prom?
So because we have access to cover, the field is covered, I mean, not the field, but the dance area, and there's also some indoor seating places. So it will still be UC Health. They just wouldn't actually go out onto the field, the grassy area. They would just be in the covered space.
Should girls wear heels?
There could be cracks, I will defer
right?
to Stuco, but I would say probably not if they're going to go on the field.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. It sounds like, as I understand it, it's going to be a formal event, but to also be comfortable. Right. So wear some shoes that if you want to have a choice to go out on the field, that you would be able to walk out there as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's all
Absolutely.
we have right now in the chat.
Okay, perfect. All right. So final transcripts. Everyone will probably want to get a final transcript. You're going to want to mark this date on your calendar to order it on Naviance prior to May 13th. So those final transcripts that are ordered, you're going to go to Naviance, follow the information. We have the next two slides will give you some details on how to order those correctly, but those requests will come through Naviance. If you don't complete it, right, then they can't process those requests, and you're going to want to send those to universities that request them. So there are 3 different transcript types. You're going to have a non-common app, a common app, and a hard copy. And again, we're going to go through the details of that, and then when you get access to this PowerPoint, you'll have all of the details on how to do that. So May 13th is the magic date for when transcripts need to be ordered through Naviance. Anything done after that, you'll have to go to the district website to be able to order those. So 2 dates. Prior to May 13th, you'll want to use Naviance for transcripts. After, you'll want to use the district website for that. So the next couple of slides are how to request final transcripts. I know that there's a lot of information on this slide. I won't read them all. I just wanted to assure you that you will have access and details to every single step that you need in order to make sure that you get your final transcript through Naviance and the Family Connection. So it'll give you the opportunity to select the colleges that you're applying to, how you're going to manage your transcripts, how you request the transcript, and then initialing which schools, would need that transcript for you. If you request a final transcript that is sent to more than one Common App college, that transcript has to be made available to all the colleges at one time. So you can't choose the Common App college and just say I wanted to send one. It will go to all of them. And I will defer to Ms. Cooper in counseling if you have questions on that. So if those come up and you're asking, well, what do I do if I want to submit it to this college but not this particular college? I'll let Ms. Cooper answer that question. Ms. Cooper, are you able to give them a little bit more information on that? Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so we'll move forward with that, but certainly if she is able to come back at the end to answer that question, we'll come back to that if anybody has any questions about what you do if you need to submit a final transcript to other Common App colleges later. I think the answer is you're not able to do so, but we'll lean on her to get that answer. If you need hard copies of transcripts, we have a whole slide here that will help you to manage that. Again, this is a lot of information on the slide. You don't need to write any of that down. We're going to give you access to that. And if you have questions, Ms. Lucero, Ms. Cooper in the counseling office, our college and career team will be able to support you when it comes to getting final transcripts. The Senior Code of Conduct Agreement every student will need to sign the online senior code of conduct so that you can participate in the graduation ceremony. This is going to be accessed through our online opportunities and our senior website on the Rampart homepage. You're going to go to that main menu, look for student life, and click on the senior class. When you get to the senior announcements, you'll find the links for the code of conducts. Every student and every parent must electronically sign individually. So you'll see 2 different links here so that the student can sign the code of conduct agreement and parents will also sign the code of conduct agreement. This has to be done. Here's another date for you if you're writing things down and you're going to put it on your phone or put it in reminders, is April 29th. Friday, April 29th is the magic day for making sure that code of conduct agreement is signed. Again, if you have questions about that or need some support, College and Career Counseling can help you navigate that. All right, graduation speeches. So in addition to our valedictorians and salutatorians, Rampart offers a senior who's in good academic standing the opportunity to deliver a speech at graduation, of course on a school appropriate topic, but anybody who wants to do that, they should reach out to Ms. Whitaker in the front office to schedule a time to audition. So really what we're looking for are dynamic, original pieces, inspirational pieces that will add to our commencement program. So if you're interested in doing that, you're going to want to put together your original piece that's no more than 3 minutes long, and then see Ms. Whitaker in the office. All of the auditions will be held on April 12th. So as soon as students register for that or sign up for that, they'll get their specific time on April 12th. But if your student is in good academic standing and is interested in that opportunity, we'd love to have them audition for the graduation speech. Graduation practice will occur on May 16th at 3:30 p.m. So that's a Monday. We are back at Clune Arena, and so that will be on the Air Force Academy. And the next few slides, we're going to talk about some of the important items that we need to remember for entering the Air Force Academy and what that might look like at Clune Arena. So 1, allow extra time to enter into the main gates of the Air Force Academy. You are going to need some present form of photo of identification, like your driver's license or your passport, and everybody who enters will need that. And then knowing that the Air Force Academy has restrictions and has requirements that sometimes they will search vehicles, so be prepared. A good note and a good practice is to just clear your vehicle of all the extra things, because it'll make that entry to the Air Force Academy a little bit easier. Attendance at graduation practice is mandatory. You will have to make prior arrangements with Ms. Cooper or Ms. Lucero in the counseling office if there is something that prevents you from being able to attend graduation practice. So May 16th, 3:30 p.m. Air Force Academy. Arrive early. Try to carpool or clear. Make sure that you have a clear vehicle and your 2 forms of ID. On graduation day, yay, exciting, May 17th at 6 p.m., you will be required to be at graduation at 5 in order to line up. So there will be delays because there'll be other schools who are having graduation before us. And so you'll have people coming in and out of the Air Force Academy. You'll want to allow plenty of time to get there. We have expecting lots of people to be at graduation. You'll need to enter through the designated gates, and we'll continue to send out and communicate what that looks like even as we get closer to graduation. About parking, once we receive that from the Air Force Academy, we'll have all of those details and make sure that you have that in your hands. So seating for graduates in general will be in alphabetical order, and so graduates should expect that that's the order that they will be called for graduation. So they won't necessarily be able to sit next to a person of their choice. It will be the person who alphabetically, right, is before and after them. But they will be expected to also wear appropriate attire and to wear the academic regalia that is issued by Rampart. That's all that we will allow. So nothing else around the neck, no flowers, no beads, ribbons, signs, no decorating of the caps, like nothing attached or written on the caps. sometimes people get excited and think that would be important, but we want to have a really dignified and classy graduation. So we're not going to have any of that information or any of that on our regalia. And then making sure that we are not disruptive. We're going to have a really nice ceremony so that every family gets to participate and enjoy the ceremony without any disruptions. So that information that will come to you again. It'll last probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And so just be prepared for that, making sure that you follow all of the guidelines for the Air Force Academy and understanding that what their guidelines are. Right now, there are no masks, so they're not required. We will not have those for our graduates or for our guests. And there are no restrictions right now on the number of guests who can attend, and tickets are not required. So, you're welcome to invite who you would like to be there. Out of respect of the graduation opportunity for all graduates, we're asking that people do not bring noisemakers, that each graduate also has an opportunity to celebrate. So we want to value all of our guests who are in attendance in this ceremony, and that we recognize that this is a serious and really important and celebratory academic ceremony for students, their families, and all their friends that are there to celebrate with them. I won't go through the Cadet Field House entry policy, but I would encourage you to make sure that you read everything on this policy prior to coming to the Air Force Academy. And when we get closer, we'll send this out again as well so that you have all the information that you need coming into the field house. Our graduation photographer will be Inspirations in Photography, and they will offer a gallery to you within 7 days of the ceremony, and then you will have an opportunity to access that photo gallery and get the graduation photos of your fabulous senior. We want to make sure we have a dignified, again, ceremony. So let's just make sure that we as a Rampart community, we're always amazing, that we attend and enjoy this special graduation moments for every graduate that's there, and that we eliminate any disruptive behavior that might happen, just to make sure that we are celebrating and honoring every graduate that's there. This is the final event as a member of the Rampart class of 2022, and so we want to make that a special day for all. All of these events certainly are a privilege, so we want to make sure that students who are demonstrating inappropriate behavior they won't be able to attend those senior events. The code of conduct form will be signed, and so that everyone is in agreement that we're going to make great choices and responsible decisions so that everyone has an opportunity to participate. Students will not be able to participate in the graduation ceremony for a few reasons. One, if they haven't earned enough credits in all the correct areas to graduate. So yes, they may have enough credits, but not in all of the correct areas. So that's an important thing to make sure. And our senior counselor makes sure to work with students so that they're aware of where they are. But that's a nice just reminder to check with that, to make sure that they have properly checked out and paid all fines. You can't come to the ceremony and do that if you haven't done that, or if they're involved or suspended because of a prank, because that would be concerned about the students' conduct at the ceremony if they're not able to follow the code of conduct while we're here at the building. So just think about this, 8 weeks of school. That's approximately how much time is left. Not enough, not much time. And so we want you to stay focused and to make responsible decisions and to be excited and to celebrate. This is just information for you to keep in your back pocket, that colleges do require end of year transcripts. And so in the past, there have been students who have had their acceptances rescinded because of poor academic performance at the end of their senior year, and we don't want that for you. So we're encouraging you just to stay strong, keep doing the great work that you're currently doing, and then make sure that your attendance and your academic performance stays at an amazing rate as it is currently doing. Do not participate in senior skip days. Those are not school sanctioned events. Right now, we are focused on learning and finishing strong and making sure that you are in your classes with your teachers who are here to instruct you. Planning or participating in those senior pranks could result in some serious consequences. And so just be reminded that this last 8 weeks is super important to maintain your focus and just to make some great responsible decisions. So back to the beginning, certain reminders, make sure that you're participating in all the events that you desire, you have fun and enjoy your time with your friends, that you study hard and prepare for all your exams, create some great memories, make, as I said, good responsible decisions, listen to your parents, students, and be safe, kind, and considerate of others, and certainly value this time of graduation. This is your time to celebrate your hard work, seniors, and your family's time to celebrate all of the time that they have really given to you, and they want to celebrate with you as well. Your graduation coordinators, if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to me, Michelle Tucker, but certainly go to our college and career counselor and our college and career counselor, career assistant. We have Andrew Lucero, Leslie Cooper. They are amazing. They do great work for our community, and let any of us know if there are questions that you have, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, graduates, good luck. We're going to come back to live so that we can answer any questions that we didn't cover during my time speaking to you, and try to get those questions answered before we call it a night.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Tucker. So we do have a few questions, and some of them have been answered by Mrs. Lucero or Mrs. Cooper, but I think we should probably still talk about them in case someone watching the video later doesn't have access to the Q&A, so we can just make sure they have that info. Going back to prom, there's one question, and the question is there a theme?
Student Council has not released the theme yet.
Okay. Easy peasy. And do we know the last day students will attend classes yet? Ms. Lucero answered, we do not know what the last day for seniors is yet. Information about the last day will be announced in late April. Did you have anything to add to that, or is there a senior final schedule?
We don't have a solidified senior final schedule because we're waiting to hear about that last day, but you can plan for probably the 4 days prior to the senior last day. Probably will be when finals will happen.
Awesome. All right, is the memory board only for those who are attending the capping ceremony?
No, if you would like to do a memory board and have that for a keepsake for your family, but you don't plan to attend, certainly we would like to encourage you to come to that, because that's an opportunity for all of us to see your great works and your time. And so while it was designed to be a part of the capping ceremony so that we could celebrate you, if that's something that you would like to do, we can make that work.
Great. Next couple questions are about graduation practice or rehearsal, and it's how long will it take, which was answered with about 2 hours, and do parents have to go? And the answer to that is no, graduation practice is for students only. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything to add to that, is there?
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. And we learned that there's no restrictions on the number of guests who can attend graduation. Someone asked which tassel needs to be on the cap, and Ms. Lucero answered the blue and gold one that came as part of the package from Jostens. Okay. Awesome. How early can we enter Clune Arena? You will be able to enter Clune Arena at 5 p.m. on the day of graduation. Oh, here's a good one. My child graduated mid-year. For all of those of you who have that going on, I ordered cap and gown and announcements. How can I pick those up? And Ms. Lucero answered that as well, that you can pick those up in the RHS counseling office. And then when should the students arrive to graduation, or when will the doors open for families? That again is 5:00 p.m. Another one about prom, can parents volunteer for prom? And that one has not been answered.
You know, I don't know the answer to that. And so how about we take that question down, and then we can post in a Q&A. You know, we'll put it together, a frequently asked questions list, and put that onto the website. I don't see that there would be a reason why Student Council would not want some support, but I don't have an actual answer to that. So let's write that down and then put that in a Q&A and get a good answer to that.
Sure. Also, if you go to the Rampart website, there are some announcements that kind of scroll across the middle, and one of them is from our Rampart parent organization asking for help. in any way for prom and after prom. So that's one place you can go and look. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking to do because some of it is like helping with donating things like water bottles and gift cards and stuff like that. And I don't know if you want to personally show up, but look at the Rampart website, see if you can find that announcement that talks about we need you for prom. Okay. Is the senior lunch canceled for this year?
So it is, we have a new event. So it's not that it's canceled. We have just moved it to the capping dedication. So for a variety of reasons. One, in the fall, when decisions had to be made for contracts for venues, there was a lot of uncertainty that was happening. What we chose to do is to go with certainty. So when we had to make decisions, one, cost to make it cost prohibitive for many families, and then two, we weren't sure what the conditions would be like to allow people to actually visit venues. So we had to make a decision of which direction we were going to go. So we have the capping dedication in place of the luncheon that we have had in years past. So yes, I mean, not canceled, but it's been replaced with something else. We were able to have more certainty by making sure that we could get into our building and that students would be able to be here to celebrate that opportunity. And so we will be in the building and doing that catered event here. So no, there will not be an off-site luncheon.
Okay. Is the last day of school for seniors always before graduation?
In the years past, yes.
Okay. Ms. Lucero is replying to this right now. Do we have to reserve the specific number of guests we have for graduation? And it says no limits on guests for the graduation. So that is a no. There's a couple more that we've already kind of talked about. Will caps and gowns come to the school or to the students' homes? Those items have already been delivered to the school, I believe, and they can be picked up in the Rampart Counseling office. How are you distributing the slides post-call? So I can answer that one. Sorry, Mrs. Tucker, but I'll be adding them to the announcement feed on the Rampart website. It'll be on the front page and it'll also be on the senior page and probably on the college and career page as well, or counseling. So if you just visit the website, you'll find it there. And I don't know, Mrs. Cooper or Lucero, do you plan to send out an email with that information as well?
Yeah. Hi, good evening, folks. This is Ms. Lucero. Yes, we will definitely, through all of our communication tools, send out the information about how families can access this presentation tonight, and again with all of the links and so forth that'll be included. Those items will be distributed through all our communication tools within the next couple of days. And I'd like to, there's a couple of questions that have come through here recently about getting on the Air Force Academy that day of graduation. And just to speak from previous years, you know, first of all, if there are any changes to what we're able to do at the Air Force Academy, we will certainly communicate that out to you as soon as we have that information. We don't anticipate any changes, but you never know with an event on a military installation if things will change. But any changes to the number of guests or location or anything like that, we will certainly communicate that out to you. But as terms of getting on the Air Force Academy the day of graduation, there is a graduation prior to our event. The traffic flow does sometimes get backed up at that north gate entrance. We suggest that you leave plenty of time to be at the gate, and so students will need to be on site at 5 o'clock. And the traffic does again get sometimes backed up, but they do work really hard to get people in as fast as they can. So I would recommend at least an hour to travel time to get to Clune Arena with the traffic at the gate. Ms. Cooper, there's a question about the capping ceremony. They'd like there's a question about reviewing that event again since it's new. Do you want to kind of talk through the agenda for that evening's event? Oh, or Ms. Tucker, I'm sorry, not Ms. Cooper, Ms. Tucker.
Sure. So right now what we have planned is we will have all of the wonderful memory boards and vision boards in our building so that the jazz band is playing, and you can just imagine what that might look like. People being able to mingle and talk and, you know, just catch up and be reminded of some of the great memories that have happened over their course of their school career, or be able to celebrate the things that are coming in the future. When we come into the gym space, we will have a couple of things that are going on. One, we'll have celebration of some favorite teachers of that senior class, so we'll be able to celebrate them. We'll also have an opportunity for our graduates. We will have their dedications that they have already submitted that will be read out loud, so that now their person that they have chosen to be capped will then take a physical cap, as in their graduation cap, and cap them. And so it's a symbolism of capping off their K through 12 school career. And, you know, it's been done in many places and in other places also in our district. And we have heard nothing but great things from families that really appreciated the opportunity, because you can't walk across the stage with them to be able to take pictures of that particular event. So we'll have a few things going on that night, but because I said it's new, you know, we're still working on some of those inner workings on everything that will happen that night. But I think that gives the highlights specifically, I think, of what we'll do. Ms. Lucero, is there anything else that you think we need to add for that?
No, other than there is a question about the limit of tickets per family. And do you want to speak to that, about why there's a limit of 3 per student, 3 total?
It's simply so that we can have the opportunity to have multiple, you know, all of our students to have an opportunity. We have limited space, you know, in our gym, and with 351 seniors this year, when we multiply that times 3, we'll have tables in the gym, so we will not be in the bleachers. And there's just not adequate space to have tables where students could have more than 3 guests, unfortunately, in that space. So we're trying to make sure that we offer as much opportunity for students to be able to bring guests, and also recognizing that we have limited space in our gym.
Thank you for that. I'm sorry if I just jumped in on somebody else. Somebody asked a question about if we have too many snow days, will graduation be delayed? I answered that with, you know, because snow days are actually 2-hour delays now with online instruction for the rest of the year for high schools, that should not end up being an issue. So even if tomorrow there is a snow day by any chance, high schoolers are still to log into Microsoft Teams to meet with their teachers and attend classes on a 2-hour delay schedule. So we're kind of taking that out of the ring, which is good. Anything besides that, Ms. Tucker? I think that covers that one, right?
Correct.
All right. I do have something. It looks like an RPO member said, yes, we need lots of parents to volunteer for after prom, and a sign up genius is going to be sent out early next week. Thank you to that person. I spoke to where the video of the meeting is going to be located, but once again, it's going to be on the Rampart website. You'll find it in the announcement feeds. Scrolling down a little bit more, somebody did ask if we could review the capping ceremony and the slides for the capping ceremony. I don't know if you've got the ability to jump back to that as of right now, Ms. Tucker. Would you just suggest they go back to the video and pop in to see what that slide says, or do you have the ability to pull that back up?
Yes, we will give that, but I'm happy to go back. Hold, give me one moment. Hold, please.
Got it. While she is doing that, I will go ahead and say, is the code of conduct for graduation already available to be accessed and signed? Ms. Cooper, is that already ready to go? Yes, that is ready to go. And I'm sorry, where did they find that on the website? Did we already do that? Okay, yes, we already put that on the website. So look on the senior page for that as well. What do we do for children that would not have an issued ID or passport when getting on the base? And I do have your capping dedication slide going live right now. So maybe answer the question about the ID and then jump back to anything about the capping. Does anybody have an answer for that one? Ms. Cooper, Ms. Tucker, or Ms. Lucero? What if they don't have an issued ID or passport? Does a student ID work for them? Or do we need to look into that?
I'll speak to that. I believe a student ID would work. Again, all of the protocol from the Air Force Academy itself regarding getting on base and so forth will be distributed to our families as soon as we receive that. We hope to have that from the Air Force Academy early next week. Once we've received that information, we will send that out to all Rampart senior parents and students so they have that information. I do think in previous years, it's been fine for students to have their school issued student ID as a way to get on base, but we'll confirm that with the information we receive from the base itself.
All right, thank you. Sorry, it looks like Ms. Tucker has had some technical issues. And her PowerPoint is gone as well, so we're not going to see her. She probably is going to try to get back in. Let me pull something else up for us so you guys aren't looking at the live event. We'll continue in a moment. Okay. All right, we're sorry for that if you missed anything. We did have a little technical difficulty. We have lost one of our members for a moment, but we'll still continue to try to answer these questions. And it looks like she might be coming back. But I didn't want to, make us wait too long. A big thank you. Oh, somebody said, just a positive note, a big thank you to the senior CNC team for always being so supportive to the students and families. I'll forever be grateful. Thanks, you guys. You do a great job. When will the invitations go out for the awards ceremony? Is it correct that the link does not need to be filled out unless an invitation is received? Ms. Lucero or Ms. Cooper, do you have an answer for that one?
I'll answer that. Regarding senior awards, we actually would like all students to fill out that awards link. If possible, it helps us know which awards kids have received, what scholarship opportunities they've been given, that kind of information. And from the data and information we get from that link, that will help guide our senior awards ceremony, to which then invitations will then be sent out after that. So we anticipate, again, the senior awards ceremony is on May 4th. Invitations for that will be sent several weeks prior. We do ask that students do complete that link so we we know what kids have received in terms of scholarship awards and other recognitions.
All right, great. And someone answered this question already. Should students wear gowns to the April 1st ceremony or just bring their caps? No, they just need to bring their caps. Okay. Does the 3 people limit for the capping ceremony include the person, the actual graduate, or is it the graduate plus 3?
It includes the graduate, so the graduate plus 2.
Great. Okay, graduate plus 2. And someone else asked, if we're not going to go to the capping ceremony, can we give our tickets to someone who would like them?
I'm gonna lean Miss Lucero.
Though the capping ceremony is an optional event, tickets for that are purchased for those who wish to attend. If you want to purchase tickets that then can be provided for a family in need or for some other purpose, we can certainly work with you individually to do that. But if you're not able to join us due to a prior commitment, we'll certainly miss you. But certainly it's not a mandatory thing. There is a question that has come into the chat about what is mandatory for students and for families. Most of the things that are on the slide for all of the different things that are coming up are optional. You know, choose to attend prom, the capping ceremony, those kinds of things are optional. Torch will be the senior breakfast and torch assembly on April 29th is an all-school event. That's for seniors and our underclassmen as well. We'll have that during the school day. That is really a student-only event that happens on our campus during the school day. Again, prom, after prom are optional. NCAA will be facilitated through our athletic office. Again, invitations for those will be coming from that office. Senior awards is an invitation-only event, but again, if you're not able to make it due to a commitment, if you're, you know, asked to be there, we'll work with you around those items. Yearbook distribution is again during the school day. Graduation practice is mandatory for students unless there's a significant circumstance impeding your ability to be there. And then of course the actual graduation ceremony on the 17th is we'd like all students and parents to be there for that, of course. So I hope that clarifies that question.
Yes, I think it does. Hopefully it does for you guys. If we have a big family, 5 kids, how can we have others come to the capping? Is that an option at all? I don't know if you feel like you answered that one with the question about giving your tickets to someone else, or do you want to speak to that a little more, Miss Lucero?
Right. So right now, we are asking for, or we have it. Our arrangements are for students to. It would be for the capping event for a student plus 2 guests. You know, just again, as Ms. Tucker alluded to, we want to make sure that all of our seniors have an opportunity to attend this event, and our space, although our gym is large, we do need to make sure that we account for all seniors who would like to attend. If we need to make some adjustments to that, we certainly will once we kind of get a figure about the number of tickets sold. But right now, we're asking for families to limit their ticket purchase to their senior plus 2, 3 total.
Okay, is it expected that the student pay for the person capping them?
Everyone who's attending the event on April 1st will need to purchase a ticket.
Okay. It's telling me that some children would not have student IDs either because they are too young. I think this is speaking to getting onto the Air Force Base. I'm not sure. I think it's not really a question, it's just a statement. I don't know if there's anything that anyone wants to say to that.
Again, once we receive the written protocol from the Air Force Academy, we anticipate to have that information next week that will outline all of those details. We will get that to you. You know, in the past, there's never been an issue with young kids, of course, who don't have a school ID and things like that. So again, please just be looking for information that will be sent out regarding all those protocols to get on the Air Force Academy once we have that from them early next week.
Okay, a lot of the things coming through are thanks. You answered this question already, but there are a couple more things coming through, and I will say we've got about 7 minutes left in this meeting. So if there's something we don't get to, please know we're going to put your questions in an FAQ to be sure that you get the answers that you need. Okay. Someone said, what was the event that's limited to 3 people? That's the capping ceremony. For senior awards, will there be other awards presented that night, such as from RHS academic departments that the kids might not know about ahead of time?
The answer to that is yes. So again, if a student is being recognized through our school, through an academic or elective department, or for any other things that we do or facilitate as part of our school climate and culture, we will definitely send an invitation to those students. So they may not know exactly what they're receiving on the night of awards, but they will receive an invitation if that's applicable. The survey that we're asking students to fill out is for information for us to know which awards outside of school, such as scholarships, other recognitions that come from other things that they're involved in, what they've received, so that we can start to gather that information to plan our senior awards ceremony.
Great, thank you. Someone made the comment that they can't find the senior conduct form or the awards ceremony form on the senior page. I think that we decided we were going to send all of that out in the email that has the PowerPoint and the video on it. So when we do that tomorrow, everything will be put onto the page tomorrow. It might not be there right now. I apologize for giving you guys some bad information. Somebody's asking, what is Peach Fuzz? Does anyone want to speak to that one?
Sure, I'll take that one. So Student Council does a volleyball game where the male students play volleyball, and I don't actually know the historical context behind the title, but it's a volleyball game that happens here at Rampart.
Another question about the capping is the person who is asked to cap my senior, are they included in the 3-person limit?
Yes, so the student plus 2, so
okay.
Total of 3 per family.
Including the person capping them. Okay.
Oh, yes, every family, it will be 3.
Okay. All right.
Now, certainly, and just we're going to be fluid with this because it's the first time doing it. So, for example, if we have 351 seniors and if only, I'm just making up a number, 150 of our seniors participate, it may open the opportunity for more tickets to be sold. But we'll have to be fluid with that because as we get closer, that's when we'll actually know those numbers.
All right. Great. Again, it is not mandatory for the capping ceremony, and the doors do open at 5:30 p.m. The program begins at 6 p.m. for that capping ceremony. Someone asked, so if a teacher is asked to cap a student, are they going to have to pay for their own ticket? I probably could answer what I think, but I don't know if it's going to be right. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Lucero, Andrea.
I'm sorry, I was responding to another question. Could you say it one more time?
If a teacher's asked to cap a student, does the teacher pay for their own ticket?
If students would want to invite a staff member to cap them, again, right now our planning is for all people attending to have events. If there's something specific, or I'm sorry, if all people attending the event need to have a ticket, I would ask that you just come see us in the counseling office or to visit, with Ms. Tucker up in the front office, and we'll speak through that a little bit more.
Okay, great. Somebody just mentioned minors of a certain age don't need IDs to get on military posts. When will students find out about the senior awards ceremony and whether they are invited? If I'm understanding it correctly, the senior awards ceremony that we're talking about is for those scholarships, right? And if they were appointed to a specific school. Yeah, there you go. So you guys are the ones telling us that your student has received one of these awards, has been awarded something. Sorry, my baby is talking to you guys. Ms. Lucero or Cooper, do you want to take over from that since that
Yes, I'll speak to that. So again, the senior awards, we would ask that students fill out the link that's being provided tomorrow to inform us of awards that they've received. From that, the agenda for the senior award ceremony will be created, and student invitations will be distributed once we have information from kids about recognitions and awards they received. In the past, our senior award ceremony agenda has included recognizing those that have received a Service Academy appointments, those that are a Betcher finalist, National Merit finalist, department awards, triple threat awards through athletics, straight A students, those that are valedictorian and salutatorians, things of that nature typically guide our senior awards ceremony. But again, we're asking students to fill out the link so that we're informed of the recognitions that they received, and then invitations for students and families will be coming several weeks prior to the event, which again is scheduled on May 4th.
Great. All right. We have run out of time, you guys, and I don't see. Oh goodness. We lost somebody again. All right, we're back. Okay, we have run out of time, you guys. There's one more thing that I see in the Q&A. We won't be taking any more questions from that at this point, but it says you've mentioned slides. Is a PowerPoint being created for seniors? Is this something parents need to create? The middle school did this, just need to know if we need to do this. I'm not sure if we're talking about the slides that we presented tonight or if there was something else. Does anybody want to speak to that at all?
So in reference to the slides, when we're speaking to the slides, that's the PowerPoint presentation to which was presented this evening. Those slides, some of those slides do contain links that we're asking, for students and families to use to either purchase tickets, to fill out information and so forth. Those slides, or the slides from tonight's presentation, will be posted on the website for access to this information that was given out tonight. The senior memory boards, that's different. That's posting of pictures and visions and things like that for the future. Those memory boards can be picked up from counseling office if a student chooses to do that. And those memory boards then are displayed during the night of our senior capping event on April 1st. Two different things there. Hope that answers that question.
Okay, Rampart community, we so appreciate that you took some time to join us this evening. We are thankful for all that you do with us and for allowing us to educate your students. So please make sure that if you have any questions that you reach out to Ms. Cooper, Ms. Lucero, myself. We are happy to answer any questions that you have. We hope you have an amazing night and an amazing evening, and look forward to celebrating with you at all of our senior events and at graduation. Have a great night.